What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the MTE Podcast. My name is Tab. This is episode 9. Appreciate you all for tapping in with me. Today's going to be a good discussion. It's going to be a good topic that we're going to get into. So sit back, relax, grab you some food, get you a little bev, listen to what I'm about to say. Just because it takes longer doesn't mean you're losing. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I really thought I'd be further by now? Maybe you thought you had more money, more success, a relationship, a different career, more recognition. And when life doesn't match the timeline you created in your head, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong. Think about this. Here's something that I've been thinking about. Just because it takes longer doesn't mean you're losing. Some things take time because you're not just building the result, you're building the person capable of handling it. It's not a punishment. You're not getting dumbed down to a certain level because you're not good enough. It may be just because you still got work to do. There's still paths to cross. There's still lessons to be learned. The timeline that's in your head is an imaginary timeline. By this age, I have to do this. By next year, I'll accomplish that. And goals are great, don't get me wrong. But the problem starts when the timeline becomes more important than the journey. Because suddenly, you're not appreciating how far you've come. You're only thinking about how far you still have to go. Then you get to a point where you start to make it personal. You talk about a time when you achieved something, but immediately start thinking about the next achievement. You start becoming obsessed with the next step rather than living in the moment and appreciating what you achieved in that moment. Don't become obsessed with what's next because you disrespect what you've already overcome. The next thing you know, you're in a running cycle. You may achieve the highest of highs, but you still feel like you're not good enough. You still feel like you're not satisfied. You still feel like you need to achieve more. And that is a never-ending cycle, because there's going to be a moment when you have to actually have a discussion with yourself and say that I'm enough. What I have is enough. I am satisfied with what I have. Yes, when you're hungry, you're not going to be satisfied. When you want some food, we want a little bev, you're not going to be satisfied. You're envisioning something and it's not working out. So you're not happy. You're thriving for what you're trying to get. I understand it. But you can overindulge in anything. And overindulging into anything becomes unhealthy. Yes, you don't need to be satisfied. That's completely fine. But you can also be appreciative and grateful for the obstacles you've overcome so far. Because it's not just an obstacle, It's a lesson that it's trying to teach you. It's a lesson that your creator or God himself is trying to get you to understand, get you to envision, get you to see not just from your two eyes, but from your third eye as well. Comparison makes you feel late. You open your phone and somebody your age is building a house, somebody's getting married, somebody's business is taking off, somebody has the career you want, and suddenly their career becomes more evidence that you're behind. But you don't know their full story. That's the bottom line. You're comparing your chapter 4 to somebody else's chapter 12. Comparison is a thief of joy. That is a fact. What you see on social media, speaking of social media, when you're on Instagram, how many times do you see someone sad or someone going through a hard time, someone going through depression, having issues, having obstacles in front of them? How many times do you actually see that? Most of the time you see people smiling, you see people on vacation, you see people having a great time with their life. There's always a deeper purpose and a deeper meaning behind a picture, behind a video. Don't ever forget that. Someone may be smiling but have 10 things going on in their life that they don't have figured out. So don't compare timelines. Yes, you can be motivated, you can be inspired by someone's story, but don't try to replicate that. Create that inspiration into your own. Someone else's season doesn't determine whether yours is late. Divine timing. Yes, you guys may be on the same age, but you guys didn't have the same upbringing, and I can promise you guys won't have the same ending. So what's the point? Slow progress is still progress. This is where I challenge the listeners. We celebrate dramatic transformations, but what about the person who got 1% better this week? What about the person who didn't quit? What about the person who had a terrible month but still showed up? That's progress too. Not every season of growth looks impressive from the outside. Sometimes your biggest win is simply because you are becoming harder to knock down. Slow progress is still progress. A win is a win, right? An opportunity is an opportunity. A risk is a risk. You either thrive or you learn. It doesn't have to go 110 miles per hour just for you to get where you want to be. Sometimes you want it slow and steady, so you can understand what's actually going on in front of you. If you're so quick to get to point A, point B, point C, are you really going to understand what's going on? Are you really going to understand what's in front of you? Or are you just going to worry about the future? What's going to happen down the road? Trust me, everything that you face, everything that's in front of you is for a reason. You have the power, you have the capability, you have the choice on whether if you want to be disciplined, be consistent, show up, or not. That right there, that's going to show the future you. Maybe you're just being prepared. Have you ever thought about that? Sometimes we're asking, why isn't it happening yet? Maybe it's because who I am becoming, why wait? Who are you becoming? Because getting something before you are prepared to maintain isn't always a blessing. The opportunity you're asking for might require a level of discipline, patience, wisdom, maturity that you're right now are still developing. Listen to me, for all my young listeners, whether you're like 18, 25, hey, even my 30-year-olds and up. Maybe the first half of your life, the first quarter of your life is preparing you. You have a big dream, you're manifesting, you have goals, you have ambitions that you're going after. And that's great. But have you ever thought about what do you need? What assets, what tools, what abilities, what downloads you need just to reach the mountaintop of where you're trying to go? You need all the tools. You need it all. We talk about patience. What happens when a deadline is not what happens if a project doesn't reach a deadline? Are you going to be emotional? Are you going to be upset? Are you going to throw everything away? Or are you going to be patient and allow things just to do what it has to do? Maturity. Talking about emotional maturity. Physically mature. How do you interact with people? How do you interact with yourself? What's your reaction on things? Discipline. Yeah, you say you didn't want this extra cookie on the side, but are you going to eat it? That's a small thing, because what if you made, let's say you get a multi-million-dollar deal, right? And you know it's not right for you. You know it's not for you. You know it's something that you don't want to do, but it's multi-million dollars. Is the discipline going to go away? It's just things to think about. Don't rush into a blessing your character isn't ready to carry. Don't confuse a quiet season with empty seasons. There are seasons where it feels like nothing is happening. No breakthrough, no recognition, nothing exciting. But roots grow underground before anyone sees the tree. Quiet doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes the season nobody applauds are the ones building everything. It all happened overnight. No, that's not the case. The external just started to pay attention after you finally accepted what you had to go through internally. And yes, it may take 10 years, it may take 30 years, it may take 5 months, but you had to go through it. It's part of the process. It's part of success. That's the ugly side. No one wants to talk about it, but it's the truth. I appreciate y'all for listening today. This was a short little, I'm trying to be more direct. You know what I'm saying? Get straight to the point. But it's a nice little episode today. But this is a final reflection. I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Once again, thank you for listening to me today. I truly appreciate it. And I truly appreciate the support. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment on what you think. Critique my videos, critique what I can get better in. Just let me know. I want to get better too. Maybe you're not behind. Maybe you're exactly where you need to be to learn what season is trying to teach you. Keep working, keep improving, keep believing. But don't forget to live while you're building. You deserve to appreciate the version of yourself that exists today, not just the version you're trying to become. Before I go, ask yourself this. If I stopped comparing my life to everyone else's, would I still believe that I'm behind? Think about that. My name is Tab. This is Master the Energy Podcast. Until next time.